Hello guys, this is Dinesh here. We will be discussing about GATE 2021 aerospace solution. So if you see the first question in aircraft structure is question number 10 from official paper. It is given as uniaxial tension test is conducted on two different samples prepared with homogeneous isotropic materials. One of the material is brittle, whereas the other is ductile. Assuming that there is no stress concentration at loading points, the failure would initiate. So we know for brittle material, the failure is governed by maximum principal stress theory. Maximum principal stress theory. And here we know the principal stress will be along the loading direction for uniaxial load. So the plane x-axis will be the plane of failure for brittle material. And we know for ductile material, the failure is governed by max shear stress theory. And for uniaxial loading, we know the maximum shear stress will be along plane YY, which is at 45 degree. So the plane of failure will be plane YY in ductile material. So the correct option is option B. So let's move to next question. In this question is given as for the state of stress as shown in the figure, what is the orientation of the plane with maximum shear stress with respect to x-axis? So here we can see in this is two-dimensional stress element. My sigma x-axis is 80 megapascal, but it is in compressive, it is of compressive nature. Sigma y is 20 megapascal and it is also of compressive nature. And shear stress is given as 30 megapascal and the directions are shown like this. We know the plane of max shear is given by theta equal to minus 1 by 2 tan inverse sigma x minus sigma y by 2 tau x y. Now guys, here this theta is derived from this stress system where the direction of stresses are as shown. So this is sigma x, this is sigma y, and corresponding shear directions are these. Now if you see this stress element for which we have derived this formula and the given stress system, all the stresses are seems to be in opposite direction. What it mean? So here my sigma x is minus 80 megapascal, my sigma y is minus 20 megapascal, and my tau xy seems to be minus 30 megapascal. Okay, so when I substitute these in my formula, what I get, my theta is equal to minus 1 by 2 tan inverse minus 80 minus plus 20 divided by minus 2 2 into minus 30, so it is minus 2 into 30. So what we get here, we'll get minus 1 by 2 tan inverse. Now it is minus 60 by minus 60. So what we get? We get theta equal to 1 minus 1 by 2 into tan inverse 1. And we know what is tan inverse 1? It is 45 degree. So it is minus 1 by 2 into 45. So we will get minus 22.5. So our answer is D. Okay, our answer is D. Many student has done mistake in this question. The question was very easy, but everyone need to know the given formula is derived for what. Okay, the given formula is derived for what orientation of stresses. Okay, so some of students got the answer as, or many may have got answer as 22.5, which is incorrect. So the correct answer is minus 22.5. So this was a simple question from basic elasticity. We'll move to next question. Yeah. So this is another simple and good question. What here is given in this question? A a thin walled cylindrical tank with closed end made up of homogeneous and isotropic material. Homogeneous and isotropic material is pressurized internally. If the hoop strain developed in the material is thrice the value of axial strain, then the Poisson's ratio of the material is. So guys, we know for thin cylindrical cell, what is your circumferential strain? Your epsilon c is given as PD by 2T into 1 or 2 minus, or it can be written as 2 minus nu by 2. So that is nothing but PD by 4T 2 minus nu. Now we know longitudinal strain, or axial strain in cylindrical shell is given by PD by 4T into 1 minus 2 nu. Now what is given? The hoop stress is thrice the value of axial strain. So what is given? Sigma hoop or circumferential strain is 3 times sigma A. Now when we compare, what we get? PD by 4T into PD by 4T into PD by 4T into 2 minus nu, which is what? Circumferential strain is equal to 3 times PD by 4T into into what? 1 minus 2 nu. Okay. So when we simplify, this PD by 4T got cancelled. So we get 2 minus nu equal to 3 minus 6 nu. So what we get? 5 nu equal to 1. So nu equal to 1 by 5 is equal to 0.2. So the given answer in the official key is 0.222. 0.2 to 0.2. Okay. Means it is exactly 0.2. Okay. So it was a simple question from thin cell. Let's move to next question. So this question is from buckling of column, and similar questions is there in Gare. So if you want to know really the concepts, exactly similar question is there from mechanics of material by Gare. Now what is given in this question? Look guys, a rigid horizontal bar ABC with roller support A is pinned to the column BD and CE at point B and C respectively as shown in figure. The other end of the column BD is fixed at D, whereas the column CE is pinned at E. Vertical load P is applied on the bar at a distance A from point B. Okay. Now the two columns are made of steel with elastic modulus 200 gigapascal, have cross-section dimensions given like this. The value of A for which both columns buckle simultaneously is. So how we can solve this question? We can solve these questions by drawing free body diagram. So look here, if you draw the free body diagram, here you can see it's a roller support. So on this roller support, it is moving in vertical direction. So the vertical reaction will be 0, but there will be only horizontal reaction. So if you draw the diagram for this, what you see here, free body diagram for ABC, there is one reaction RCE, then there is load here which is P load, and there is one reaction at this which is what, RBD, and this point A, here you have only horizontal reaction, there is no vertical reaction. Okay. Now this P is acting at a distance A from point B. Okay. Now the distance between B and C is given as 100 centimeter. Okay. So guys, to solve this question, first what we will do, we will try to write equilibrium equations. So here this is kind of overhanging beam. Okay. And here on this side, vertical reaction is 0. So what I can write? I can write for this beam RBD plus RCE is equal to P, and I can also write RCE into 100 is equal to P into A. So from here my RCE is coming as PA by 100. And if you write your RBD will be coming as 100 P minus PA upon 100. How I got? I got from this equation. Now guys, already they have given BD is fixed pinned support column and this CE is simply support column and lengths are given and other properties are given. So I know from column, from strength of column, my RBD is how much? We know for fixed pinned support, your strength of column is given by 2 pi square EI by L square. And here L is what? 75 centimeter. So I can keep 75 square. Now what is your RCE? Now guys, my RC is pinned support column. So for that we know the strength is given by pi square EI by L square. How much it is L here? 125 square. So guys, what I am going to do to find the value of A, I will divide RCE by RBD. Okay. So RCE by RBD. Let's do that. What we will get? What is RBD? RBD is, so let's do, and RCE we know in terms of the P and A. We know RBD in terms of the P and A. So let's do that. So if we do that, what we find? RBD by RCE. It is what? We found RCE as PA by 100 and RBD was P into 100. So it is 100 P minus PA by 100. Now what is the RBD? RBD is 2 pi square EI by L square. L is how much here? 75 square. And what is RCE? It is pi square EI by 125 square. Now this is equal to what? It is PA upon 100 minus A into P. So this P will get cancelled. Now since the material is same, so E will be same for both the column and cross section is also same, so I will be also same. So this and this term got cancelled. So if we simplify, what we'll get? We'll get 2 into 125 square by 75 square is equal to A upon 100 minus A. Now if you solve this, we will get the value of A is around 15.25 centimeter. And the given answer in GATE exam is 14 to 16. So this question was not tough. The only we need to know how we can draw the free body diagram for this question. So is it clear? So let's move to next question. Yeah. So the question number 50 is from thin wall structure, and here it's a multi-cell question. The question is bit lengthy because in this question first you have to find the shear flows in each section and then find what is shear stress in this wall AD. Okay. So guys, here what is given, a two cell wing box is shown in the figure. The cell walls are 1.5 mm thick. All the walls are of same thickness and the shear modulus is G 27 gigapascal. The structure is subjected to a torque of 10 kilonewton meter. Then wall AD will experience a shear stress of magnitude watt. So to solve this question, we need to have, right, two equation. One equation will be from Brad-Wedo theory. So what is the Brad-Wedo theory says? Your the total torque carried by this wing, the T will be equal to what? 2A1 Q1 plus 2A2 Q2. What is here A1 and A2? Here A1 and A2 are the cross-sectional areas. Okay. So from here my equation, if I write my equation, what will be my equation? Your torque is 12 into 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 3 Newton mm is equal to 2. What is the area? A1, it is 200 into 300. Okay. Plus 2 into 300 into 300 into, this is Q1 and here it is Q2. Okay, so if I simplify further, my equation will become, my equation will be in the, my equation will be 100 equal to Q1 plus 1.5 times Q2. So this is what my first equation. Okay, this is what my first equation. Now here we see there are two unknown, Q1 and Q2. So what is first here, Q1 and Q2? So Q1 is what? Shear flow in section 1 and Q2 is what? Your shear flow in cell second. Okay. And here always we consider the direction of shear flows along the direction of applied torque. So what equation I have is from Brad-Wedo theory. 100 is equal to Q1 plus 1.5 times Q2. So here what is the main point? You have to be consistent with unit. So if you see here, my unit will be in what? Newton per mm. Okay. Now second equation. So second equation will be from compatibility. So what is the compatibility? Now here, if you find the angle of twist in section 1 will be equal to angle of twist of section 2. So my theta 1 will be equal to theta 2. So we will compare the angle of twist per unit length. Theta 1 dash is equal to theta 2 dash. Now what is the theta? How the angle of twist is given? The angle of twist per unit length, okay, for thin walled structure is given as integration q ds upon 2 ag by t. Okay. Now here my angle of twist in this section f f a d e theta dash 1. So if I write theta dash 1 will be equal to what? I can take the area and this G out, and thickness is also constant, so I can take T is also out, so it is 1 upon 2A1 GT. Now if I move from D to I will start from A to F. So if I start from A to F, my shear flow is Q1. What is my length is 200. When I move from F to E, my shear flow is again Q1. My length is 300. When I move from E to D, my shear flow is Q1, length is 200. But if I move from D to A, my shear flow is Q1 minus Q2 into 300. So this is what my theta 1 dash. Now if I write my theta 2 dash, it is what 1 upon 2 A2 G3 into thickness. Now if I write for this A, D, C, B, A. So for A to D, my shear flow is what? It is Q2 minus Q1 into 300. Then for D to C, it is Q2 into 300. Then for C to B, it is Q2 into 300. Then B to A, it is Q2 into 300. Now we have to equate some compatibility of equation theta 1 dash is equal to theta 2 dash. When we equate these two equation, my simplified equation will be given by Q2 will be equal to 1.09 Q1. Okay, it will be equal to 1.09 Q1. And we know already the first equation here, and this is what second. So what I will do, I will substitute Q2 value in equation 1. So when I substitute Q2 value in equation 1, Q2 value in equation 1, what I will get? I will get 100 is equal to Q1 plus 1.5 times Q2. So Q2 is 1.09 into Q1. So from here, if we solve, our Q1 will be around. It will be around how much value? It will be around 100 by 2.6. So 100 by 2.6 is how much? So this value 38. Okay. So it is 100 by 2.6. So it is 38.46. And if we find the Q2, so Q2 is 1.09 times Q1. So if you multiply this by 1.09, we will get 41.92. Now guys, the shear flow in A to D, they told the shear stress. So shear stress in AD, first we need to find shear flow in AD. So shear flow in AD, QAD is nothing but Q2 minus Q1. So it is 41.92 minus 38.46. Now guys, shear stress in in AD will be what? It will be tau will be equal to Q by T. So QAD by T. So QAD is coming as QAD is coming as minus 38 point, so 3.46. So 3.46 divided by 1.5 is the thickness. So divide by 1.5. Sorry, let me clear all. Okay, so it is 3.46 divided by 1.5. So it is coming around 2.37 megapascal. And in GATE exam, the range is given close to this answer. What is the range given? It is given as, the answer range is given as 2.1 to 2.5. Okay, so 2.1 to 2.5. So this is what the correct answer. So this question was lengthy. It was not tough, but it was lengthy question. So it was a lengthy question. Okay, so and similar questions we have kept in our mock exams. Okay, some of the questions were similar exactly, but in the questions in one or two questions we have given the Q1 value or Q2 value. So let's move to next question. Yeah. So this question number 51. So in the previous paper also similar question has been asked, but it is bit different from previous year's question in some way. What it is given, there are two cantilever beam AB and DC are in contact with each other at their free end through a roller as shown in the figure. Both the beam have square cross section. So this data is not required to solve this question. In fact, material property is also not required. Okay, we can solve without these two data, but anyway, for the given beam they have given these data. If the beam AB is subjected to uniformly distributed load, what is the compressive force experienced by the roller? So first of all, we need to understand what is this roller support. So basically this problem is idealization of one practical problem where there is one support which will restrict bending. Okay, but it may allow some kind of vertical deflection. It will restrict bending, but it may allow some kind of, vertical deflection. So to solve these questions, first we need to understand free body of this given beam with this roller or internal hinge. Now here guys, if you look, what they told, what is the compressive force experienced by roller? Now compressive force means how this compressive force will come. So if you see the free body diagram of this beam, it is like this. Here when we cut, at this support, there will be one vertical reaction. Suppose this is R, this is my hinge. So there will be a opposite reaction here, and you can see there is another reaction here. So you can see this R is what a compressive force in this roller or hinge support. And same we can see here, there will be a vertical downward load in this another section of beam, which is of length 250 mm, and this is of what, 400 mm. Okay, so you can see this is R. Okay, now to find this R, what we have to see, we have to find R value, and to find R value, what we have to do, we have to use again kind of compatibility of displacement. What is that? Whatever the deflection will be there in beam A to B will be equal to what, the deflection in C to D. So what is the deflection in A to B is what? Suppose the deflection due to this UDL, it is delta 1. So what will be delta 1? We know due to UDL, it is QL1 power 4 upon 8 EI. What is the this vertical reaction is going upward, so delta 2, and this will be downward, and this will be this vertical reaction going upward, so it will be upward deflection, and it is RL cube upon 3 EI. Now in this beam C to D, suppose it is delta 3. So what will be delta 3? It will be R, this is L1. So it is R L2 cube upon 3 EI, and it will be what? Downward. Now guys, we know for both the beam, material is same, cross section is same. Okay, so and we know what, my delta 1 minus delta 2 is what, the deflection in AB is equal to what, delta 3, which is what, the deflection in CD. So what we write here, QL1 power 4 upon 8 EI minus RL L1 cube upon 3 EI is equal to RL2 cube upon 3 EI. So from here, if I write my R will be equal to 3 by 8 Q times L1 power 4 upon L1 cube plus L2 cube. Now the value of Q is given, L1 is given, L2 is given. If we substitute in this, so my R will be what? Q is how much? Q is given 20 kilonewton per meter. And they asked the answer in kilonewton, so I will write it as 20. Before that, it is 3 by 8 is multiplied. Now it is what? L1. So it is 0.4 power 4 divided by 0.4 cube plus 0.25 cube. So when we solve this, we will find R equal to 2.41 kilonewton. Okay. Again, the given answer is well within the range provided by IIT. So in that they gave answer as 2.2 to 2.6. 2.2 to 2.6. Okay. So it was a good question. In fact, if you are good in concepts and if you have followed a right reference like Gare, then only you can solve this question. Yeah. So next question is question number 52. What it is given? It's a good question. Here there are few things which we need to understand. First, it is a practical question. Many places you will see the signboard. The direction is given. This is the street number. So where you will this kind of signboard where the end of this pole will be fixed and there will be a signboard. And sometime we see the heavy wind comes, so we can see the pole. The pole will come out or it may break. Okay, so to avoid that we need to analyze what can be the strength of pole. So in this question what they give, the area of the pole signboard is 3 into 1 meter, 3 meter into 1 meter. Vertical hollow pole is fixed and it is supported by hollow pole to the ground. The pole has a square cross section, dimensions 250 mm. So they gave an outer dimension, but the inner dimension is unknown. The yield strength is given as 240 megapascal to sustain wind pressure of 7.5 kilopascal. The dimensions D of the pole is. Now they told neglect the effect of transverse shear and the load due to wind pressure acting on the pole. Now guys, to solve this question, first we need to understand this will be kind of a cantilever beam. How? On this area the pressure is acting, so the load on this total area will be given by what? The load F will be the pressure is how much? 7.5 kilopascal into area is how much? 3 into 1. So once we know the load, now where this load will be acting, it will be acting at the CG of this signboard. So the CG of the signboard will be at 0.5 meter from this edge. Okay, so the total moment arm, if you consider from fixed end, will be equal to what? The moment arm L will be 5.5 plus zero point 0.5. So it is equal to what? 6 meter. Now this load into this moment arm will create a bending moment, which will be what? F into L. Now we know due to this bonding moment at the fixed support, there will be maximum bending stress, and my sigma max will be equal to what? M upon I into Y, and Y should be the extreme distance from neutral axis. So it will be 125 mm. So it is 0.125 meter. Now guys, this moment is known. What is the I? Now I we know for this hollow square section it will be 0.25 power 4 by 12 minus d power 4 by 12. Now here d is unknown. What is the sigma max? Sigma max, to avoid this failure or till this failure, maximum value of sigma max can be what? Equal to sigma allowable or yield strength of the pole. So what is the yield strength is given? 250 megapascal. So what we have now here, if I write my equation, it is 240 into 10 to the power 6 is equal to what? It is m. So it is 7.5 into 3. It is 22.5 into into 10 to the power 3 into momentum. So momentum is how much? 6 divided by I into 0.125. Now if we solve this for D, the answer is coming as 235 mm. Before that it will come as 0.235 meter. So that is nothing but 235 mm. Okay, so we can solve this equation. First we will find I from this equation, and then I is what? This, and when we solve for the unknown D, the answer will come as 0.235 meter. It's nothing but 235 mm. Okay, so they gave the range as 233 to 238. Okay, in the given answer, the range was given as 232 to 238. Okay, so D was given as 232 to 238. Okay, so this is another beautiful question, or a good question from GATE 2021. So I think we have discussed all the questions from GATE 2021 for aircraft structures part. So in the mechanical vibration part, we will discuss in the next video. So thank you guys. Hopefully you guys will like this video, and please share your feedback.